one-of-a-kind, brand-new experience.
Oh, breathe and let your rhythm sync with the waves.
Nangong, what brings you to the beach this late?
Manager, don't go sneaking onto someone else's stage like that. You almost gave me a heart attack. Do proxy commissions include patrolling beaches now? Or did you come all this way just to catch my private performance?
Why are you practicing here? It's quite an unusual place for dance practice. You seem kind of different when you're practicing compared to how you are on stage.
'Cause there's no cameras here. No audience, not even mirrors like in the practice room. The waves won't grade my performance, and the sea breeze won't boo me off the stage.
So even you feel pressure from the stage and the audience?
Duh! Pulling off a performance with confidence is one thing, but the fear of letting everyone down is another. The seaside air helps clear my head and really focus on my moves. Some moves always feel a bit awkward in the practice room, but out here, it feels as free as dancing with the wind.
How come you didn't bring Suna and Arya along? Practicing solo in secret doesn't sound like your style.
Shh! This is the captain's secret training! Thanks to the Gilded Karate performance, Angels of Delusion have started to make a name for ourselves. We're even being invited to perform at events like the music shows at the Fantasy Resort. To live up to everyone's expectations, Suna and Arya are training even harder than before. As the group's captain, of course I also want to share the load. If I can perform better on stage, maybe those two goofballs won't have to work quite so hard. If they found out I was practicing at the beach, they'd definitely follow me here. Then Suna might catch a cold from the wind, and Arya's parts could get damaged by the seawater. That'd be a total disaster. And of course, the most important thing is, if the Delulus found out that Nangong secretly trains extra during her free time, my whole genius captain persona would be ruined.
But does that kind of genius really exist? They say you have to work 10 times harder to make it look easy. You just don't want everyone to worry about you, right, Nangong?
If you say things like that, you'll blow my cover. I won't be grateful at all. But you're right, manager. My secret recipe for Nangong's delusions is turning giving it my all into the magic of looking effortless. The audience expects to see flashes of genius from Nangongyu, not me sweating like an idiot. I do have at least that much professionalism, you know. And of course, as the captain, I have a responsibility to have my own choreography down to a T before rehearsals. If I don't know my stuff inside and out, how can I expect those two to take any of my coaching seriously? Especially Suna. If she found out her badass genius captain was secretly practicing solo, she'd give me those big teary puppy eyes and be like, "That's not fair, Nangong. This is cheating." Then she'd push herself until she literally collapsed just to catch up. Just imagining that gives me a migraine. Anyway, all things considered, this is Angels of Delusion's top secret. You have the responsibility of keeping it secret from me, manager.
I'd be more than happy to keep your secret, Nangong. That is, if you're offering hush money.
You're the worst. Name your price.
How about saving me a good front row seat at the Fantasy Resort show? Sounds like a good deal, right, Captain Nangong?
You really don't know how to extort people, do you, manager? Deal. I'll make sure to grab sunscreen for you at the beach. If we end up in the tabloids, I can't let my dear partner in crime have a sunburnt face in the pictures. How about you be my captain today, manager? Hold on tight, manager. Brace yourself for an exhilarating cowboy adventure.
I didn't expect you to be into goofy action comedies like this, Nangong. I never really get the chance to watch stuff like this with Wise.
What's wrong? Never seen a cowboy with wings before? Just because I'm in an idol group doesn't mean I can't appreciate cowboys with revolvers, right? Bill and Yuko's motorcycle vanishes into a cloud of dust, and off they go, their legendary adventure rolling on. It doesn't feel right to end things here. Like, all that buildup was for nothing.
Good times fly by, don't they? After all, it's just a lighthearted popcorn movie. Guess you can't really expect any major plot twists or a thought-provoking ending. Are you a bit let down? We can pick something different next time.
Nah, I just wasn't expecting it to end like that. I wish their adventure had kept going a bit longer. Haven't you ever dreamed about a life like that, manager? Living like a cowboy, wandering the roads on a motorcycle?
Compared to the wandering life of a cowboy, I guess I prefer the rare, peaceful moments we're having here on 6th Street. Plus, well, although I never became some gun-wielding outer-ring cowboy, the adventures and close calls I've dealt with so far are just as intense.
Whether or not you admit it, manager, that adventurous side of yours is one of your most charming qualities. Suna and Ari are both pretty brave, but I always feel like they're missing that reckless, fearless spirit cowboys have. But you need that reckless curiosity to become a great artist, you know? Honestly, looking back on it now, I might have actually preferred being a cowboy angel rather than an idol angel. But then Suna came along going on and on about her dream of becoming a composer. I knew there was no way that silly goose could make it in the dazzling world of New Eridu on her own. So, I basically had no choice but to fast forward my own story straight to the settling down for idol life episode.
But something tells me joining Angels of Delusion wasn't a choice you regretted either. It's not just Suna's dream anymore, is it?
Of course not. If I said I regretted it, those two dummies would bawl their eyes out, then corner me at practice and be like, "What is your dream, Nanggung?" I was supposed to be happy and content with my life being part of an idol group. But lately, all those adventures with you seem to have woken up my inner cowboy again. Do you remember that motorcycle we didn't get to ride in the outer ring? You really won't let me buy one? If I had it, you could ride with me next time we go into the Hollow. I'll be wielding a revolver and a hammer, and you can be my gentle yet brave navigator, just like Mill and Yuko. Nanggung and Belle, the Angel Cowboy. How's that sound as the title for our blockbuster action movie?
Sounds like it would be quite the blockbuster, Miss Cowboy.
Won't people start gossiping, though? Saying things like, Angels of Delusion is falling apart. The members are going solo. But if it's teaming up with you, Proxy, I'm sure Suna and Arya would understand. So, to keep Suna and Arya from getting jealous, I've just decided I'll only work with you in my capacity as captain of Angels of Delusion. For now. Looking forward to our adventures ahead, Miss Protagonist. Angels of Delusion performed here before. It feels kinda nostalgic every time I come back. Spot something interesting? Back then, we couldn't afford to rent the venue for ourselves, so we had to share the stage with other artists. And whenever it was our turn to go on, the cheers from the crowd were always noticeably quieter. It was kind of embarrassing now that I think about it, but I miss those days more than I thought I would. I remember the look in Suna's eyes. Frustrated, but refusing to back down. And how Arya double-checked everything over and over, terrified of making even the smallest mistake. We've come so far. It's been a pretty fiery ride, hasn't it? No matter what comes next, we'll keep soaring, scraped up, windblown, but with that same fire in our hearts. Today's delusion is a dreamy adventure. Suna told me she likes to come to the seaside alone to look for inspiration. She said the sounds of nature can spark all kinds of brilliant ideas. But all I'm hearing is ship horns and seagulls screaming while they hunt down people's fries. Suna's source of inspiration really is something else. Maybe geniuses just have their quirks. Do you think maybe I can find some dance inspiration from that weird statue by the pier? What about you, manager? Have you caught any inspiration in all this noise? Unless she was talking about a completely different beach. Angels now off the clock. Ooh, herbal tea! You'd never see this in Janice Quarter. But this smell. But I've heard herbal tea is great for your throat. Ooh, but honestly, the smell's really strong. Surely if I brought some back for Suna and Arya, they'd thank their beloved captain. As for me, I think I'll pass. Wait, Arya can't drink it either, so I guess that means Suna gets it all to herself. Yeah, she'll like it. How about you be my captain today, manager? The place where Angels of Delusion took flight. Has to be 404 Live, right? Huh. Before Miss Cecilia discovered us, things were pretty tough for a while. That's why I really treasure every chance I get to perform at 404. This place has the best mentor and the most passionate fans. It's also next to the best noodle shop in all of Janice Quarter, and the best cafe too. Plus, I met a new lifelong bestie here. Right, bestie?
Good evening. How about winding down with some games after a busy day?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Time's up! We're totally the dream team!
Time flies when you're having fun, right? Looking forward to your next visit?
Oh, flowers! I get them all the time on stage. But arranging them into cute shapes with your own hands is a totally different experience.
The King of Flowers effortlessly commands admiration.
A nice scent, a pretty color. These are the shared charms of all flowers. And yet, every single bloom is special in its own way. Just like each one of us in Angels of Delusion. Don't you think? Spot something interesting? Isn't the intermission going a little too long? I got the perfect soundtrack ready for today. This has got to be the most dazzling, glamorous stage in all of New Eridu. If we ever got to perform here, Suna would probably be so nervous she couldn't even get a word out. Honestly, even I wouldn't be able to stay calm. My heart would be pounding like crazy. I might look composed all the time, but secretly, my heart starts racing before every performance. No matter what kind of stage it is, I want to shine my brightest, to live up to the expectations of my friends and our Delulus. I want everyone to feel like right where we're standing is the most brilliant stage in the world. Someday, we're gonna shine on this stage too. I got the perfect soundtrack ready for today. Manager? Guess I'm not the only one who comes up to the rooftop to clear their head, huh?
So, what's weighing on your mind so heavy that even the night breeze up here can't blow it away? Mind sharing with me?
I was just wondering something kind of silly. Manager, do you think dreams could work like renting apartments? Something you temporarily sign a lease for and just stay in for a bit?
What do you mean? How do you rent a dream, like renting a place?
At 404 Live on 6th Street, there's a small apartment called Suna's Dream. The lease has no fixed term, and I pay with my wings and talent. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, right?
You mean your reason for being on stage, don't you?
Bingo! Right from the start, I knew I was only getting on stage to help that crybaby become a composer. I handled the choreography, she wrote the music, and the idol group was just a vehicle to reach that goal. That's what I kept telling myself back then. But sometimes, standing on stage and seeing the smiles on Suna's and Arya's faces as they perform beside me, I can't help feeling a little jealous.
Why would you think that way, Nangong? You're the most talented captain, the person Suna and Arya have always relied on and admired.
When Arya picks up the mic under the spotlight, or when Suna lays down notes for the sheet music. Honestly, those moments make me jealous. Their nervous yet determined eyes, the glow on their faces that says, "This is why I'm here."
Yeah, Suna and Arya have their light, but you've always had your own unique shine too, Nangong. To me, to them, to all the Delulus.
Me? That's probably just the reflection of the neon signs downstairs. A rented dream. A borrowed shine. My dream used to be helping Suna achieve hers. But if one day even Suna gave up on her own dream, then my whole delusion about dreams would come to an end as well. Just like these useless pretty wings on my back.
Even if you can't truly fly, you've never stopped beating your wings, Nangong.
Because there are always people watching below the stage. Waiting. Hoping. For Suna, Arya, and all the Delulus holding their glow sticks for this grand delusion. I can't stop pretending to fly.
Knowing you, the fact that you're opening up about what's been bugging you, you've got to have already figured things out, haven't you?
It's kinda embarrassing how you see right through me, smarty pants. I used to think being an idol was just business. Playing a character people like, giving them what they want, making fake sparkly dreams. But when I saw the photos people took from angles I'd never even thought of, and read all those fan letters from our Delulus, each one with its own special story. When I saw how Miss Cecilia used to shine so brightly on stage, and how Astra Yao pours her heart and soul into every single song. All around me, on stage, off stage, during Gilded Carrot Day, and every ordinary day, I saw so many people like you out there hustling for their dreams. And somewhere along the way, something inside me shifted. So when Suna and Arya went on and on about my choreography, like they always do, I actually got a little flustered. And maybe even kind of proud? Like a total rookie. Like an inexperienced child.
A child's dream is the purest and most sincere, isn't it?
What if tomorrow's Nangong steps onto the stage, no longer just for fulfilling her best friend's dream? Would you look at her differently?
I've always had my own unique view of you in the audience.
From the very front row?
Front row, right in the center.
Then it's a deal. Starting tomorrow, I'm moving out. No more renting. What shines under the spotlight is the dream that belongs to the three of us. To me, to Suna, and to Arya. A dream unique to each of us, yet brought together as one. Manager, please keep watching this innocent delusion of ours.